We are live. Well, here we go. The Muscle Brigade podcast. Here we come again. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, let's talk about something that probably you wouldn't think of. We're going to talk about Netflix because everybody knows Netflix is starting to live stream. Did it with the Mike Tyson fight, did it with some football games, and with the Mike Tyson fight, it was just horrible. The comments were horrible. People like, oh, it's buffering, all this and all that. And I'm going to tell you this. I watched the Tyson fight, and I had no buffering issues. I watched the whole thing. I even watched it on my phone for a little bit and had zero issues with buffering. Then I went home, signed into the Xbox, pulled up the Netflix app, and it pulled right up. It did buffer for a little bit, and after that, I had zero problems. Oh, and then here recently, they did the live WWE, and that's what I really wanted to focus on was the WWE because I've watched wrestling my whole life. Sting was one of my favorite wrestlers, and he didn't end up going to the WWE for a long time. But I've watched. So where I'm located, we didn't get the WWE. Back then it was called the WWF. We didn't get that where we were at. We got some, I forgot what it's called, but it was basically before we got WCW. And then we got WCW. So that's why I grew up on Sting, and he ended up being my favorite. Four Horsemen, Ric Flair was back and forth. I didn't get Hulk Hogan in his prime. We didn't down here. We didn't get the Ultimate Warrior, so we ended up with WCW. So I was a big WWC fan, and then 98ish, I think, started the Rawful Wars. It might have been later than that, but we finally got the WWF. It might have been the WWE back then. They switched over to WWE. I'm not quite sure. So then I got to see, The Rock and Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, Triple H, Heartbreak Kid. So I was still a WCW fan. Bill Goldberg was big at the time. Sting was up in the rafters at that time because they were trying to work out a contract. So Netflix says, let's bring the WWE to live on Netflix. And I missed the live stream, but I went and rewatched it. And I'll tell you this, I haven't watched WWE in a while, but that Netflix live for the WWE, phenomenal. I don't know who was in charge of that. I don't know if that was a Triple H or the Netflix crew with the WWE crew. Like, I'm telling you this, like, they did it right. They 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 nailed the hammer on the head. Like, they did it. They did it. Anybody and everybody that you could think that would show up to this big event because it was the Netflix debut, they got it. Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, the wrestlers that were in the crowd watching. The Rock showed up. Like, they did it, and they did it well. Titles changing hands. Like, what bigger event could you possibly do other than WrestleMania? Because we all know that's the Super Bowl of wrestling. WrestleMania is the big one. John Cena was there. I just thought on a creative standpoint, they captured it better than all the years that I've seen USA Network do it. Netflix was doing it right. And no negativity towards USA. Like, I watched it when it was on USA. I just thought, as a wrestling fan, and I haven't watched it in a while, they did it. The storyline that they decided to put in context to the live event, they did it. So kudos to Netflix. Like, I've watched the live on Facebook. I've watched the live on football, and I had no issues there. Like, I am impressed with Netflix live streaming or the Netflix live. Did they have issues? I'm sure they did when they first did the Tyson fight. It was probably an overload on the system, but we can't fault them for that. They weren't expecting probably the amount of streams that it was going to get. So I think they've got one of the best live programs as far as just the color and the commentary and the way it's presented. Like, I am a fan of the Netflix. I've been subscribed to Netflix for years. Started out paying for it. I mean, I still pay for it basically, but it's on my phone bill included, with the T-Mobile. So I just think that I'm about to really consider getting rid of some of my other live streaming apps. I have Hulu, and I'm not a big fan of Hulu. I have thought about going to YouTube Live. But if Netflix continues to do what they're doing, I may just stay with Netflix, and hopefully, within this year and next year, they can get their live programming up, and it's a done deal. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about on this first podcast for Muscle Brigade podcast or Muscle Brigade, whatever we decide to call it. Here's a little bit about Muscle Brigade, because this is a new thing that we're doing with a podcast that is video through YouTube and whatever other platforms you may see this on. We are a small gym located in a small town in Missouri that the podcast is going to eventually bring other businesses in and see if we can have a podcast. And maybe if they don't want to be on video, we could get their recording off video, and then add it to the video. I am very big on trying to bring some life back here in this small town, whether it's, getting in other businesses, cleaning up some houses. We are just trying to make a change here in the small town, kind of clean it up, because we were once a fairly big town back in when this town was founded, 1880s or 1800s. I shouldn't say 1880s. I know the school was built in the 1880s. Maybe it was 1880 and the school was built in 1888. I'm not sure. I'll have to do some research on that. But we are, at one time when the coal was big here, we are known for coal. We were, at that time, bigger than Kansas City. We were basically a city here. And to see some of the pictures, it's just, from what downtown used to look like, it's amazing. And if you're from around here and you see the downtown now, you're kind of disappointed. So we are just trying to give some life back to this small town any way that we can. If it's, donating our time to clean up a property, we do that. If it's donating time to the youth, we do that. If it's donating to the school or to fundraisers, we do that. So that's just a little insight on Muscle Brigade as far as it goes, because I would like to see this town come to life, to get one, to clean up the properties and get some houses in here to so that way people want to move here, get some businesses that are sustainable, that everybody can enjoy, that that we can all fluctuate from. And what are those businesses? I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. Whether it be a shop, like a warehouse that, provides jobs, that would help. I'm sure that would help. That was weird. You know, so that's kind of what it is here. If you have ideas, we'd love to hear them. I do apologize with the sun coming in from the gym. That's why I kind of moved up. I just want this town to get the love that it needs, whether that's redoing our downtown, cleaning up the houses, getting our sports programs on track, volleyball, basketball, football, baseball, softball, soccer. We have soccer in the youth league, and not too many people do it. Maybe wrestling. So we do have track and cross country. Getting those are pretty. Our basketball program's pretty stable. Our track's pretty stable. Our cross country, it's fairly new, but it's stable. But just getting everything on track to give people like, hey, we want to get out of the bigger city. And I heard about this place called Rich Hill, and let's go down there and check it out. Let's move there. So just whatever we can do, we're trying to do. I am going to. I've reached out to some businesses. They are down with some of them are down with the podcast. Some of them not so much. But if it's the camera that scares you, then we can take the camera out of it. We could do a podcast with it's just audio, and maybe play a video during uh, the podcast, like a video of what you do or your business. I had one of them like, yeah, let's do it. I haven't forgot about you. Some of it's time, some of it is just kind of creating the content. Like what do I want to ask businesses? What do I want to get from this business? Like, what do I want to not get, but give you all as the viewers? Why should we go to Muscle Brigade Gym, or why should we, go to this business or that business type deal? I've only asked about 3 or 4 businesses, and through my challenge for the Christmas tree decoration, I started going through and looking at, like, writing down all the businesses, and just the ones that I've wrote down, and I'm gonna name them off here. They're somewhere between 30, 32, 33 businesses. So this is what I have: Twisted Scissors, Stacy Fox Insurance, InsureTech, I think that's how you say it. InsurTech. InsurTech. I just make that sound weird. 49 Floral, The Farm, Citizens Bank, Yowie Concrete, Rich Hill Cafe, Heiser Hardware, Roof Power Solar, The Old Barn Print Shop, Muscle Brigade, Swopes Drive-In, Food Fair, Pony Cake, Gales Graphic, Larry Hacker. I don't exactly know what his business name is called, so I apologize if he sees this. The Boathouse, Dewey's Tree Service, Rich Hill Trucking, Rich Hill Tire, Whitetail RV, Rich Hill Car Wash, Cohen's, B&G Remodeling, Tradecom, BL and Sons, Chris Clausen, Fletcher Farms, Bob Wingate, Trucking. I don't know if it's called Trucking. We all know him around here as Bob Wingate. Phelps Trucking, Feldmack Enterprise, DNL Smoke, City of Rich Hill, because technically they are a business. Duffer Hollow Design, Wheatley Bookkeeping, and Mitchell Body Shop. Those are the ones that I just came up with off the top of my head. So, and then the one that I forgot is Fastwire. So there's another one. There's Fastwire. And I say that because as I'm looking out this window, I was like, oh yeah, the internet company. It used to be the phone company, cable company, whatever they're called, but they're called Fastwire. The American Legion is another one that I'm pretty sure they're non for profit, but they're technically a business that we could support in some fashion. MFA, I think that's what it's called. The one over here by the railroad tracks. I'm not sure what they're called, but that's a business. Did I say Twisted Scissors? I did Twisted Scissors. And then the Glamour. There's another haircut place. I think Glamour Shots. Maybe not Glamour Shots. Blitz. Maybe it's. I'm sorry. I'm just butchering this. And if I didn't get you, I apologize. I apologize if I did not get you. But those are just some of the businesses that happen around here. And I don't. There's another business that I just thought about off the top of my head. I don't even know the business name, but I know that they do letter jackets. They sew patches on letter jackets because my kids' letter jackets have went to them. So I'm not sure what that business name is. My wife might, but these are just a few that I don't necessarily remember all the businesses. Local businesses, we do got the bigger businesses like the dollar store, Pete's, but your small town businesses are the ones that I listed off, and a few more that I thought of. But bringing, did I even have the farm bar and grill on there? I don't know if I did, but those are things that I forget about. I'm sure other people forget about. Like, oh yeah, we have that in town. Let's go support it. And I'll tell you this: I went up to the Butler Hospital for a health day, and they invited all the gyms. So the gyms were talking, and as the gyms were talking, like what I loved about it is we weren't competing. Like we were all cordial, and if my gym doesn't work for you, because not every gym works for everybody, and you want to go work out at the other gym, go work out at the other gym. You know. But where I was going with that is we all had sign up sheets, and talking to some of the people that were walking through the hospital, one of them I don't think lives here anymore, but they used to. I'm pretty sure they grew up here. And before I bought the gym, it had been known as Rich Hill Tiger Fitness. So it was, I think he owned it for 2 or 3 years, and I've owned it for the last 4 years, 3 or 4. So when they said Rich Hill has a gym, like that baffled me. Like, with as much as I post on Facebook and as much as I try to get out in the public, whether it's here or Butler, for them to say that, I was shocked. And I've advertised on the radio, the local radio. 92.1. So that shocked me that they didn't know that there was a place in Rich Hill. And then here recently, because we have moved, I've heard that, I thought you shut down because I went there and nothing was there. Okay, I'm doing everything I can not to shut down. So we've added supplements, we've added a new building. We're looking at adding massage therapy. We're looking at adding. We're looking at adding a chiropractor. This is. We're going to talk about Muscle Brigade for a little bit, because it is my business and I want people to be informed. We've done a lot of I got a message. We've done a lot of things to try to keep this thing afloat. We are going to add a new software. I wasn't a big fan of the old software we had, so we are adding new software that I think will go good. It will keep everything in order. It will be linked to our bank information, so that if you change cards or the card declines for whatever reason, it will lock the fob automatically. And you say, well, that's kind of dumb. It makes it a whole lot easier on us, and we can focus on other things on the gym. But it doesn't lock it automatically. I got to get more information, but from what I've read, it sends out a notification. So when all the new customers sign up, I'm going to need an email, a phone, so that all this can get linked to that information. And if your card declines for whatever reason or expires, and maybe that's why it declined, it will send you a notice, and you have $5, 5 days to fix the issue. I say 5 days. We work with everybody. If you come in and talk, or if you message us and talk to us and be like, hey, I got a new bank card because the other one expired. I apologize, but I can't make it in till the weekend. Say the first happens on a Monday, and then you can't make it in till Saturday or Sunday. We get it. Hey, that's fine. Come in on Saturday or come in on Sunday. We'll set up a time and we'll get you squared away. We're not going to charge any additional fees on stuff like that. The other reason we're changing is because I've had a lot of card declines and I'm eating those fees. I am eating those fees. They hit me every time that card declines. They hit me for $14.99. The other company is going to too, but they don't do it right off. But every time I get a decline, I'm going to charge a $25 fee. That will be in the contract you sign. That may scare some people, but at the same time, I have to be able to operate as a business and pay my bills as a business. And when I'm taking money that I should be putting into the business and I'm getting charged on fees, I can't accept that. So that is another reason why we're changing. The other reason is it keeps track of everything. It's going to keep track of our insurance, and we'll talk about insurance in a second. But it's going to keep track of insurance to where we can make basically tabs in this software. And if your insurances get renew, if your insurance is Silver Sneakers, we can put you in those tabs. And then so when we generate a report to send to the insurance company, then it will be populated. Then I can get paid that way. And I hate to say this about insurance, but I've talked to the other gyms in Bates County, and most of them don't do insurance for under 65. Maybe it's 55, 65. I think it's 65. Because the insurance only pays us $20. That's that's nothing. I've had to up my prices to stay afloat. I've added a yearly fee or a club fee, if you want to call it, to cover the software. Not cover it because we're buying the software outright, but to help us put stuff in the software when you sign up, to help with cleaning supplies, to help with new equipment. Those are just fees that we're going to start using to help maintain the gym. It's a yearly fee. It only comes out once. It's $25, I believe. $25 plus your membership fee, which I raised those prices. So let's say your membership fee is $42 a month and you're okay with that. So the first one would be $25 plus the 42, 7, 25, and 42, $67 would be your first payment. And then after that, you would drop down to $42. And every year, and this is another reason why we changed the software, is if you sign up in July of 2025 and then it goes to July 2026, you will be hit with your yearly fee then, so it would be a little higher then, but it's only once a year, and we're going to try to keep those as minimal as possible. And if I get overwhelmed with people, and maybe the fee drops even more, or maybe we do away with the fee. Basically, I know that's a turnoff. I know the fee is a turnoff, and I've tried to stay away from it. And we're not trying to make it to where people are like, well, that's just so much money to work out. I am trying to keep my prices low, but times are tough for you as an individual, for small businesses. My insurance went up, so we're just trying to stay afloat. And if there's a time to where my insurance drops or whatever, and I can do away with the processing fee, the club fee, whatever you want to call it, I will do it. We are looking at expanding the gym. That's part of the club fee. Like, hey, we're gonna expand the gym. And so with the other reason that we that we up the prices is this is what you get in our gym for the amount of money you pay, whichever cycle you're on, is it will be you get 24-hour access, which most of the gyms around here do. I could be wrong. I think there's one north of us that doesn't do 24-hour, but even Nevada does 24-hour. And Nevada does a payment processing fee or club fee, initial fee, whatever they want to call it. But you get 24/7 access. With the membership, you get, as long as your card's on file, you get free tanning. I've opened that up to free tanning now. Basically, all you have to do is set up a code for yourself, which you do through us. You get, and I say this, you get unlimited support through me. Like if you have questions, I do that anyway. Anybody that comes in here and they ask questions, like I'm always answering questions, or I'm always, if I see somebody doing something wrong, like, hey man, no, don't do it like that. Do it like this. It's better on your back, or whatever. That you got too much weight on. So we have a shower. We have a bathroom with a shower. There was a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, if you had a shower, I'd work out." Have a shower. Is it big? No, it's small, but there's a shower. I have cameras in here for your safety as well as my safety. I brought in supplements. I'm looking at maybe, you know, with the upgrade in price, maybe adding get a sample packet of pre workout or a protein. I can't guarantee that, but I'm always looking at giving you the best bang for your buck. Most of the time, when you sign up, you get a free T-shirt, or you get a free shaker cup, or a water bottle. These are the water bottles. And some people are like, I don't want a water bottle that says Muscle Brigade, or a T-shirt that says Muscle Brigade. That's fine too, but it's there if you want it. Hey, we're offering free T-shirt when you sign up. We're offering free water bottles when you sign up, shaker cups when you sign up. I've done free tannings. When you sign up, you get 10 free tans. Not doing that anymore because now tanning's free. With the insurance, I haven't decided on how we're doing the younger folk. I'm gonna say folk, the ones under 65 that want to use insurance. The insurance is for the older generation that are on a fixed income. That's what we set it up for. That was my intention, to try to get the older folk that were retired, that were on a fixed income, into the gym and keep them mobile. To keep them mobile. And I've had a lot of kids younger than me want to use it, and we've let them. I can't promise you that it's going to be here, and I will make a post and let you know, like, hey, we're not doing insurance for your, like, you have to be 65 to use insurance. And I know that's a turn off, because then people are like, well, I want to be in the gym, but I have to make it beneficial on my part too. $20 for the month when my membership is 37 if you put a card on file. If it's just an individual to where you want to pay it, monthly by check or by cash, or just a one-time payment on your card, that's $44, I think is what it is, or 43. So I'm not even getting, depending on where you fall, I may not be getting even half of that. And I have to look at this as a profitable thing. Do I want to do that? No, I don't. I want everybody to come in here and be able to access the gym and be able to pay for a gym membership that is that wants it, that wants to better their lifestyle, to be healthy, to walk on the treadmill, during the winter, to come in here and lift weights because they want to get stronger. For the student athletes to come in here because they're on a preseason workout or a postseason workout, off-season workout, whatever you want to call it, because not all the times, if there's availability at the school, that they can meet. So I want everybody to be able to use the gym, but I can't give it away for free. And I know that some people are like, oh, well, your prices are just so high. Yeah, I have to be able to pay the internet and the electricity and water and the sewer and the trash. So it's a business. I have to treat it as such. And I do have people that don't like to pay and are still getting in the gym. That's another reason we are switching softwares again. And I told everybody it was going to be temporary anyway. I just didn't think it was going to be this short. I thought we were going to have this system a little bit longer. It's a cheap system from Amazon. We are going to upgrade the system to benefit everybody. Yeah. And I will work with you on payments. If it's like, we try to do everything we can to work with people, because when we get you in here, we want you to stay. We do. I've thought about some of the things that you may see in the next month is February Outrun Muscle Brigade Gym. Meaning you sign up for $10 and this is for I haven't decided. Well, come in. So this is what I want to do. Basically, at the end of the month, if you outrun me or walk me, it doesn't have to be a run. It can be a walk. If you outrun or walk me, because I promise you this, I'm going to be walking probably the first week or two. If you outrun me or outwalk me or jog me, meaning you got more miles than I do, I give you free membership for a month. Or maybe 2 months, or maybe 3 months. Maybe first place gets 3 months, second place gets 2 months, and third place gets a month. Something like that. Something to bring you guys in here to have different activities. There will be some requirements. You'll have to post a picture every day, or send me a picture every day of the miles you've walked, and then I will I will also confirm that through. We'll have a sign up on the wall, like if I do it with individuals, then maybe maybe we do it as a name basis. Put your name down, and then you put your how many miles you walked today. Like, oh, Muscle Brigade walked or ran 2 miles today, and then somebody else sees that and says, oh, well, I'm walking 3 or 2.5. You know, basically, it's a friendly competition that makes everybody better. It gets you in the gym. It gets you healthier, getting healthier. And it's just a friendly little competition that, we can all have fun. And then maybe we go from there and like, hey, can you outrow Muscle Brigade? Hey, can you out cycle Muscle Brigade? And my confirmation to you guys will be, it will be on the Muscle Brigade Facebook page. So small things like that. Our student membership is $25. That includes college students. That includes you get access to the tanning bed. So, and if you guys have ideas, let me know. Let me know. We are actively thinking and working on getting this place better. I want this place better. I want new equipment in here. I know that there's people in here. It's like, well, it's still small. Well, they don't have this piece of equipment. I understand that. And I get it. And I'm trying to make this the best gym that I can for you guys. And I want to expand. I want to make this bigger. And I know that takes money. And we are looking into how we can do that. So, anywho, I'm going to get off here. Stay tuned. I'm going to try to do these once a week for the Muscle Brigade podcast. If you are interested in, let's just be honest, throwing some money at Muscle Brigade, and you want to advertise on here, please reach out via the Facebook page, via our email, musclebrigade@gmail.com. We do have a website if you want to check out the website. At MailChimp, Muscle Brigade at MailChimp. I think it's musclebrigade.com. MailChimp, I think, is what the website is. That is active. That is the one website that I am working on. And some of you have checked it out, may think, well, that website is weird. It's in black and green, and then you go to the bottom and it's in blue. I designed it that way. There's a method to my madness. And you're like, well, why is it blue? It is blue because our school colors are blue. And you might think, well, maybe it is. I'm not going to disagree with you. But I also wanted to kind of support our local school. So I put blue on the bottom header. And I can't remember if the writing is in red, but that was my contribution that says, hey, I want to give a shout out to the school because that's where I graduated. I've always been a fan of Rich Hill and the school. I always talked about this place when I was gone. You can ask any of my military buddies. But anyways, that's why it's blue for now until I can figure it out. The little icons in the footer for Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, please do not. You can click on them. You can. It will take you to a website, a Facebook page. I know for a fact the Facebook one is wrong. I do not know how. I am working on trying to figure that out, to try to figure out how to get it to the Muscle Brigade's Facebook page, the Muscle Brigade Gym. The one at the top in the header, it says Facebook, it says YouTube. If you click on those, they will take you to the right page, as far as I know. When I say that, I'm questioning if the Instagram one is right. But Twitter, Facebook, YouTube on the top are all right. Instagram may be wrong. But you can find me on all those platforms. If you would like to advertise, please do so. Reach out. If you're a local business, we can work something out. You can advertise for the whole year for real cheap. Or you could be like, hey, I want to advertise, this episode. And I am also going to work on backgrounds so that you're not looking at this here, whether we use a green screen and just put a picture back there. I may have to pay for another service so I can get, all the overlays, and I can give shout outs to the businesses and make it look neat. So that is something small we're going to do here. We are also, as I get this podcast going, we are going to look into doing not just business interviews, maybe people interviews on people that have knowledge of this great town, the history of it. And somebody just dropped a name to me today that had quite a bit of knowledge of this town, and I was like, what? So there's that. And then there's the, getting to the school, maybe talking to, if I'm allowed, talk to some school individuals, whether it be the music teacher or the FFA advisor or the volleyball coach, the basketball coach, having them on a podcast, let them explain what they do as an FFA advisor and what their biggest thing as an FFA advisor is. Like, oh yeah, we got FFA convention week that we go to out in Louisville, Kentucky. That's a big thing. Maybe there's something else that's big that not a whole lot of people are tracking. FBLA, FCCLA, whoever and whatever. Basically, shining a light on shining a light on this town, because I feel like everybody that has a business outside of this town forgets about this town, because coaches are being interviewed and I don't see coaches for Rich Hill being interviewed. So, and I've been trying to do this for a while. I just haven't. And then there were some things that popped up, and I was like, all right, I'll lay low on that. But I want to give light. I want to shine the light where the light needs to be shined. Giving these teachers credit, giving the administration credit, giving the coaches credit for a successful season, whatever sport it may be. Like right now, Rich Hill's, both the boys and girls basketball team, I think, have lost one game or two games, maybe three, but they're like 8-3, both of them, or 10-3. The volleyball season, I didn't make it to any volleyball games, but doing a podcast, maybe I should, and talk to the coaches and see what they plan on for next year. Softball, baseball coaches, cross country, track. What their expectations are coming for track coming up, or softball or baseball. Getting them publicity. And the way I look at it is, most people know me. We sit down, have a casual conversation, And maybe that opens it up to where if you go to state in track or football or any sport, if you go to state and then you're questioned by the media, maybe that helps you like, oh, yeah, I've done this before with, Muscle Brigade podcast. Same thing. Like, then the media is asking you questions when you're up at state, wherever it may be, KCTV5, KMBC9, whoever it may be, some local reporter, out of the city, that's a journalist. That'll help you handle that pressure. I don't know, just a food for thought. Because I am a big believer on it doesn't matter how small the school are, we all have athletes that can compete at the next level in some fashion. They were there when I was in high school. I played with a few. There were a few before I even entered high school. There were quite a few while I was in high school that I felt like they could have went on to college to do track or football or basketball, and some of them did. And some of them didn't have a desire because they were burnt out. I know I graduated with one that said he was burnt out and he didn't want to do college sports. That's cool too. But I'm a big believer on at least making it an option, to be like, hey, you could go, play at the next level if you wanted to, and you may not want to, but the option's there. So, anywho's, I'm gonna get off here. I do appreciate you guys taking the time. I haven't decided on how long the podcasts are going to be. I'm going to start making scripts as far as interviewing the businesses around here. We're going to do that eventually, and then maybe talking to some of the coaches as well and getting them on the podcast as well, giving them a shout out. So, anyways, I'm out. Thank you all.